The cat's name is Baruthiel. Or at least that's what his collar says. What? What about a cat? It's not a name to give a cat, in my opinion, but it speaks grace much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hands every movement. I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. It wasn't very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I should have bought all these at the same time. I shouldn't have bought all these at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat, but back at home, they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that! I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with rowdy younger brothers and a sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather, and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like the company's bad, even if it's a cat, as long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
Where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? A bandage is wrapped around one of his paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before. A cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put one in my mouth, he meows. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. Yes, feed me. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out for him warily. He sniffs at it once. He sniffs at it once, twice.
Baruthia!
Before. Like a good, properly trained pet, Baruthiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps in the direction of the voice. Miss McCulloch. Hard to miss. What with her height?
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you?
That's a weird question to ask.
Miss Santos, was it? I'm surprised to see you here.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
Baruthiel's. She. All this time I thought. Pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely 2 people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, a meeting like this doesn't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly wouldn't hurt, right? I keep up my tone cordial.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have pets.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell me stories about it.
Nothing has happened to me so far.
Displeasure is evident on her face. Of course, I've forgotten that for other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. There you go again, running your mouth off, Isabella. I rack my brain for a way to remedy the situation, but
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so? It is good to see you again, Santos.
A complete dismissal if I've ever heard one. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something she has forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde mansion, with my clients, it's the rights, I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter, the same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
Miss McCullough. I hasten to pick all the bags I've left on the bench and ran as far as my legs can take me. In that moment, what I'm carrying in my hand feels far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to go home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Or of her. Of my own cowardice. The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One would think that someone who had been on a continuous binge of instant noodles would find a home-cooked meal enjoyable. But it isn't. You need to clean your goddamn room, girl. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the things you're trying to forget keep returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you. Eats at you. Devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
No. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends. That's what everyone has kept telling me, so why? Immediately I rushed to my study table in search of my phone. My hands, cold from dread, cling tightly to it as soon as I touch its edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter lying unassuming beside it, slips to the floor when I pick up the device. But I pay it no mind. I don't know why they don't just call it a cell phone. There are more important things. Right now. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago, and she was okay. No. It isn't Rose, I'm sure of it. I just talked to her, and my sob escapes me, and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another, they trickle down, weighted by the very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same ones I've been hiding from. The same one that has put the people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial. Whispering. Praying. Pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone speakers. But in my ears I can only hear the screams, her pleas, her whispers. We are not safe. A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. My body still wants to sleep to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly I become aware of how awkward my position is and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled up position that night before. If I even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud. Instead the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else had gotten involved. I should have. The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly, when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. I check it, nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. If this were one of those typical days, I'd be happily complying and get myself to the office. To all BRC employees, in light of recent events, there will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy and policies. We'll all discuss the during even. Everyone is required to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sale reports for the last 6 months to be submitted. We're expecting everyone's cooperation. Right. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, take my mind elsewhere. On the other, the place itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. I should just... Yep. Go to work. Hoping won't get me anywhere. This is just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile no matter how bad things get and hope for the best. Although my whole body Feels like lead, and my limbs are sore. I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares back at me. They sneer. They ridicule. Like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it into my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This too I'll deal with. Somehow I'll find a way and make things right. I have to. Before it takes more people from me. Even if I must do it on my own. Papers rustling, telephone ringing, feet shuffling. Overall, today looks like a typical working day at Briar Realty Corporation. Except it isn't. The air is thick with tension and unspoken questions. No doubt everyone present has already heard about Rose. If they missed last night's report, they'd likely see it in the morning news and the papers or on various news sites on the internet. Everywhere is a bitter reminder. In fact, everyone's giving me a wide berth, as though the mere mention of Rose would be enough to trigger something in me. It's appreciated, but it only serves to create a bigger hole in the place Rose has left. After lunch, my boss calls for a meeting. I don't have to look up from my work to know what it is about. He's in a strange, pensive mood today, probably out of respect for a dead colleague. Oddly, I'd appreciate it more if he just shouted at me today. Anything.
I'm sure you've all heard of what happened to Miss Cooper. She was a valued member of our team and she will be missed. There's no date for a funeral, yet, but those who wish to attend, kindly speak with your respective supervisors. By the way, has anyone heard about our still AWOL staff? None? HR, you know what to do. Santos, a word? In my office?
At the end of it, I've been given the entirety of Rose's workload, including finalizing the rights paper, and have been promised an ample compensation for my efforts. I think he's expecting me to be happy about it. Instead, I immerse myself in my work. I have to, anyway, if I want to forget. Time flies when you do, and by the time I give notice, it's already late. Everyone's already gone, leaving me in the company of a radio and a member of our janitorial staff. I don't even know his name. Rose likely does. She remembers people
The
easily
Luxbourne
like
Police
that.
Department continues its search for the following reported missing people.
The radio blares one name after another. Hold on a second. Missing? Aren't they... Still, I have to check. Frantic, I turn back to my desktop. The loud tapping of my fingers against the keys fills the office for a better part of my shift as I look through everything. The background about the place, its history from the current owners, and the list of employees hired under BRC. And I'm right. Of course I am. BRC may have a lot of staff. They may have a lot of agents hired, but I'd remember those names anywhere. After all, they're also part of the crew who worked with us in preparing the mansion for the open house. Then the letters... No, they can't be. I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
But Rose is...
Something snaps into place in the fraction of a moment. These people, Rose, the letter...
I need to... No. If it's like this, they still won't believe me. I have to make sure of it first.
Evidence doesn't lie. That's what Ashley often says, right? If I have proof, then maybe. I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but maybe there's still a way I can save them. The letter, my phone, papers, anything that will be useful. I grab all of them and stuff them in my bag. I can't stay here. There's something I need to do. There's something those people should... The noise cuts sharply through the room, stopping my hand short of cramming a pen into my bag.
Hello? Anyone there?
Someone must have left their printer open again. I may be in a hurry, but if I don't turn it off, another person's certainly going to have a fit tomorrow over wasted company resources. Most of the time, it's Rose who does the nagging, but the clicking of my pen in my hand is a welcome distraction to the search for the said object. Its stride of my feet takes also echoes throughout the empty workplace. I've lost sight of the janitor minutes ago, and with me being the only one left, the tapping of my feet against the wood floor is something I soon learned to appreciate. It doesn't take long for me to find it. By the time I turn it off, 5 pages are already strewn about on the ground, the paper tray having also been left ajar. Sighing, I pick each of them up to put it someplace proper. But the page that greets me next makes my blood run cold. The chill that makes its way up my spine is oh, my knee hurts and my hip hurts. Pain. The chill that makes its way up my spine is as numbing as that day in the attic. The sheets crinkle under my intense grip. All I can hear is my breathing as it rasps through my gritted teeth. But before I can even gather myself, take the first step out of there, total darkness suddenly envelops me. And as if hearing everything horrid thought running inside my head right now, something snaps. A soft creaking grating through the thin veil of stillness that has descended in the room. Every muscle, every bone in my body goes rigid at the sound. Familiar. So familiar now. Yet my own treacherous curiosity still presses me to take a careful peek over the cubicle's wall. It's her. standing in the only exit of the office, albeit facing away from me. She doesn't even need to turn around for me to know it's the same misshapen face, tattered clothes, and unsightly gait. The same person in the attic. I take a step back, the pen I'm holding slips from my hand, and my entire head turns. A scream almost escapes my mouth, and I duck under my table as quickly as I can. My heart is pounding hard against my chest. I can hear the bone-chilling sounds of her walk, the weird clicking that follows her, and the telltale squelch of something wet as she walks towards me, nearer and nearer. The sounds are slowly getting louder. The only thing keeping the whimper from escaping me is my hand as it covers my mouth. Someone, please save me. Anyone. I close my eyes, muttering a continuous stream of prayers, all while attempting to steady my own breathing. Please, please don't let her hear me. Oh, shit. Shit. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay. That's hard.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but...
The last line of prayer has left me. All that remains is a hush. None of her footsteps nor the chilling sound she makes. Only silence. Is it safe? Another second passes and when nothing comes. What? Let's try that again.
Our Father, give us and lead...
It's gonna take me a couple tries here. Okay. Seconds, minutes stretch out before me agonizingly. Is she gone? Slowly open my eyes to take a peek. I don't dare move or make a noise. In the face of such terror, I can only beg, let out a silent pleas to whoever is out there. Please, please don't let her notice. I want to live.